The sheriff walked into the jail in despair. Then he locked the cell door tightly and threw away the key in his hand. The reason he locked himself up was to get to his dead wife. The sheriff stared blankly at the screen. Inside lay a body in a protective suit, and she was the sheriff's wife, Ellie. His co-workers tried to talk him out of it, but it was too late.
Wanna go out?
But that one short sentence turned the sheriff into a death row inmate. In a future where the environment is so polluted, all human beings have to live in bunkers. And there is a special rule here. Anyone who says they're going outside will be expelled and die in a world full of poisonous gas. On this day, the sheriff's wife wanted to go out. It turned out that she and a friend had found a hidden video. The outside world was not contaminated at all. Instead, it's a patch of greenery with birds and flowers. But no matter how Ellie tried to explain, no one ever believed her. Ellie just said the forbidden words.
I want to go out!
Although her husband was the sheriff, but could not prevent the tragedy. He could only watch as his wife was sent to the ground. He prayed that she was telling the truth. And in the end, as everyone watched, the woman still collapsed into a world of poisonous gas. His friend John saw it all. He had also seen the greenery. He thought there was a reason for Ellie's death. But before John could find out, he was accidentally transformed into a corpse. And that made the sheriff realize something was wrong. He suspected it had something to do with his wife leaving. So he rushed to John's girlfriend to see if he could find any useful clues. But Julie took him to a restricted area. Anyone who trespasses will be punished. But the sheriff wanted to find out what his wife had seen. He chose to break in with Julie. Julie found a fishing line. She quickly pulled up a bag. Inside was an encrypted hard drive and a manual. Looking at the familiar handwriting on it, the sheriff froze in place on the spot because it was written by his wife. The sheriff decided to take these away for investigation and said he would tell Julie if he had any clues. But before Julie received his clue, the sheriff was evicted for violating the rules. Under the supervision of the mayor and his colleagues, he was put in a special protective suit. Immediately afterward, as everyone watched, the sheriff stepped out of the hatch without hesitation. The next second he simply froze because there was no pollution outside. It was heaven on earth. He wiped his lens hard to show the residents. He didn't realize that in the eyes of the residents, the outside world was still barren. At that moment, the sheriff suddenly felt sick, and then he couldn't breathe. So he took off his helmet and crawled towards his wife. The crowd was stunned by this sight. No one dared to take off their helmets outside. Unfortunately, the sheriff couldn't hold on in the end, collapsed directly beside his wife.